Before Jesus ascended, he gave his followers a distinct mandate. And it's a mandate that carries on down through the generations today, and that is to get the gospel out to the four corners of the world, being the witnesses and the light everywhere we go. Now, for any world-changing movement to be successful, and this isn't just a Christian movement, it's every movement, there's 5 key factors that are at play that has made a movement successful. And as Christians, there are things that we should be checking our own hearts to see if these things are in our own lives, especially as Christians that are, we're leaders, we're leading a cause, we're leading basically a revolution in this world, a revolution of truth and light and righteousness and justice and love and peace everywhere we go. And so I want to go through those 5 keys with you really quickly. And the first one is having a white hot, passionate faith and desire to see this movement, to see this thing within come to pass, to see it happen. To know that you have this is you're willing to complete this vision even if no one else is on board. Even if you're the only one, it burns in you that deep. You're going to run this race no matter what. This desire, this thing has creates a boldness in you that you can't nobody can quench. Nobody can quench out that boldness, that fire hot passion within you. To know that you have this, you're going to be searching for ways to bless God, to bless other people around you, to bless the body, because the purpose of the law, what God has written on our hearts in the new covenant, is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And so you're going to be looking for ways to complete that, to love people, to bless people, and especially in this movement, this being a witness everywhere we go. Another aspect of this is you're not going to need the constant prodding or motivation to keep going, because you're not going to need to do everything you can to grab hold of the vision. It's going to have a hold of you if it's truly a vision that God has given you and placed within your heart. And so as you're looking for those around you to follow the vision, you're going to search out for people who are already sold out for that cause, or who are willing to sell out for that cause. They've already felt certain aspects of this call in their life, and God uses you to bring the bigger picture of that particular aspect, and they too begin to develop this white hot passionate faith as you go forward. So that's key number 1, having a white hot passionate faith. Passion. So the second key is having a commitment, a very solid commitment to this vision that you feel that you've received from the Lord, that goes along with the Great Commission to complete this worldwide movement to change the world, with the gospel. And basically, a commitment comes from having this deep rooted identity, knowing who you are. When we know who we are in Christ, we know the mandate that God has given us, we're going to go forth in power. We're going to go forth with passion and love, and we're going to be committed to this cause that God has placed in our heart. Someone who's committed, they have a heart of a reformer. They see wrong, they see a situation or a people group that's just not right. They see something wrong with that, and their heart is to make it right. Their heart is to reform or change that situation. They're also willing to die for the situation. So much, this vision, they're so committed, they're willing to die for it. But even more than just being willing to lay your life down, you're willing to live for it. And you live for it every day. Everything you do, everything you say and speak and talk about, it's committed. It revolves around the commitment that you've made to complete that mission, or that vision. So that's number 2. That's number 2, which is commitment to the vision. The third key to that must be present in order to change the world in any major cause, but here specifically for the gospel, is contagious relationships. Contagious relationships. So it's having these close, committed relationships with one another, with the purpose of going out and changing lives. That's what Jesus told us to do in Matthew 28. He said, "Go forth and make disciples of every nation." And so, discipleship is not just a teacher standing in a pulpit and speaking every Sunday, or even on the Saturday, whatever day your congregation meets. It's more about the personal relations, having a close interpersonal relationship with one another. It's developing attraction with one another and growing together, learning together, flowing together, and doing the mission work together. Basically, it's networking with one another. It's coming into different social networks and bringing them together, finding things that are in common, and then bridging that over into the big mission, the vision that is in your heart to accomplish. And you do this through the social networks that you create, and so basically, a contagious relationship is spreads from one person to the next. So you go into a city and you find a person of peace, just as Jesus commissioned the disciples in Matthew chapter 10. So it go from city to city, find a person of peace in that city, and stay in their home. And when you find a person of peace, they are going to connect you to their network that they have. And now your influence begins to spread everywhere you go. This is something that you can do right now in your very own neighborhood. Find a person of peace that's willing to sit and hear what you have to share about the gospel, what you have to share about this vision that God has placed in your heart. And they're going to go get their friends. They're going to get their family. If this is something that's enticing them, they're going to get those around them involved as well. And you have a bigger audience by just finding the one person. It's just amazing how the best way movements travel, the best way situations, visions and things travel is through word of mouth. Salespeople know this. If they go out and get one person, they get that one person, but it's not just that one person, because that one person is going to tell everybody around them how great the product is, or how great, whatever it is that they have, that it's going to spread rapidly like that. And so, as someone who wants to change the world, we've got to do it at the lay level by talking with the different social networks we're involved in, maybe even getting in a few more. Just to be able to have an influence and have commonalities at the foundation level, and then you get to build them from there. So that's the third key, is contagious relationships, networking. The fourth key to this having a movement that's going to change the world is rapid mobilization. There was a phrase that we would use in the Marine Corps, and it says that a 70% solution today is better than a 100% solution tomorrow. And the reason that is, what does that mean? It's saying that a lot of times we try to get a situation, everything perfect, all of our ducks in a row. And how many do you know that your ducks are never going to be in a row? Satan's always right there to push, shoot in the water, and all the ducks scatter. Nothing's ever going to be in that clear, perfect, place, A to Z, the way that we'd like it. But if you have most of it there, 70% of it roughly, everything's ready to go, start moving forward in that direction. Start with the mission. Get out there and start doing the job, and everything else will fall into place. You'll adapt as a situation grows. Things will get better. Okay? So you want to be able to, your team, those that you're bringing on board with you, you want to be able to train them and equip them, not just effectively, but you want to do it somewhat quickly as well. You don't want people sitting, for instance, if you have a church, you don't want people sitting in a church for years and years and still have never gone out on their own, never put their hands to the dirt per se, and put their feet to the grind. Like, you got to get them out quickly. Learning, the best way to learn is getting out there and getting experience. And so you want to be able to train people effectively, but also quickly. You want to have some speed there. One thing to realize as well is you don't need to know everything to get out there and get started. You just need to know a few things very well. You just remember to not stop as you're going forward. Don't stop. Just be relentless. Okay, be relentless everywhere you go. And also, as back to the team aspect, remember to give the people on your team a chance to grow as well. We want to do it quickly, but remember that people are coming from all backgrounds of life, all kind of walks of life. And so they may require some pruning, just as Jesus prunes us. Remember, we got to give people a chance to prune them. And then if they're still not getting it at a certain point, we realize that the vision's not for them, it's okay to let them go. And so that was the fourth one, rapid mobilization. And real quickly, the fifth one is adaptive methods. You got to be able to adapt to the culture that's around you, the situations that are around you, not being strict in a particular method. Now, that doesn't mean changing the message or changing the heart of the vision, but the way we go about to bring that mission to pass, those things, the methods can change. It's okay for them to change, to adapt the needs of the society, the culture around us. Remember that adaptive methods are the goal of the movement, and they're not an end in of themselves. And last thing I want to leave you with is that the definition of wisdom, or a really good definition of wisdom, is the ability to see problems and to make solutions ahead of time before you even have to deal with the problems. Okay? That's part of adaptive methods, and you'll be able to change it as you go forward. So those are the 5 keys to affecting a worldwide movement, transforming. Thank you. Be blessed.